Hello and welcome to Chronically Cozy Business Chats. I'm Randy, your cozy business bestie. I'm a low energy business and content strategist, writer, and the founder of the Chronically Cozy Creators Club and Business Directory. I'm here to help you build a business that actually respects your energy limits. This podcast is a cozy space to talk about what it looks like to do business differently through honest chats with other chronically ill and neurodivergent entrepreneurs who are already out there doing the thing, and some solo episodes with yours truly where I share lessons from my 9+ years in building a business with chronic illness and ADHD. So make sure your coffee is hot, get cozy, and let's chat. Today's guest, Courtney Davila, a fashion stylist, here to share their story with us. I'm so excited. Fashion stylist, that sounds so fun. And heads up, I have like no fashion sense. So I'm so excited to hear
You're
more
so
about what
funny.
you do. My entire fashion sense is based on, is it cozy and comfy? So
And you know what? That is so valid. I hear that from a lot of people. They're like, I don't have a sense of style. I'm like, that's okay. That's why I have a job. So thank you for being.
yeah.
But no, thank you so much for having me on today. I'm really excited to chat about what it's like to be neurodivergent and have a chronic illness in the fashion industry, because how often do we hear about that?
Yeah, right. It is a very unique story. Because I can imagine it's a very high-paced kind of industry, and that's
Totally.
got to be tough.
Yes. Fashion styling, for those who maybe don't have a great idea of what it is, it's a very physical job. And so, we're sorry. I did have a brain fog moment.
I'll
Fashion
do.
stylists are responsible for dressing talent, whether that's a personal styling client, whether that's a celebrity, whether that's, wardrobe on a commercial or a film set, and so many other things, right? Red carpet, all of those things. And so a lot of the job is hauling around clothes and shoes and accessories and driving a ton, especially where I'm based in LA. So it's a very physical job and it's very difficult there's a lot of barriers to entry, let's say that.
Be a fashion stylist in LA too. That sounds so fancy. I'm up here in like Canada and just
No,
a
I
little
love
town.
it.
So that sounds so glamorous.
Thank you. It sounds glamorous, and sometimes it feels glamorous, and sometimes it's
Like
not.
the case, I bet that's the case for a lot of show business, the things that we think sound like really cool and
Hmm.
yeah, and I can imagine there's fashion stylists in so many places that we would never think.
Yeah,
That's
there's
so cool.
basically, if people are getting dressed somewhere, there's a need for a stylist. So it's a very cool job. You don't have to be in a
Yeah,
major city. Um,
that's really cool.
yeah.
Neat. So how did you get into this? How did your journey into the being a fashion stylist start?
Yes, I'd love to talk about that. Well, when I was a kid, I was really into art and drawing and dressing myself and dressing my dolls. So it kind of just naturally progressed. By the time I was in high school, I knew I wanted to go to school for fashion, just a matter of where. I ended up going to a lovely state college here in California and got my bachelor's. And I started working in the corporate world of fashion and in a styling position. And although that sounds very, I don't know, like the best of both worlds, it actually killed my soul. And it was the first moment I realized there's really something wrong with my body. And I actually had to quit that job and seek medical attention. So there really was a push and pull of, is this the right job for me? What's going on with my health? At my age, I was in my very early 20s at the time. So I totally had a moment of, is this the job for me? And
Yeah.
had a very long journey from there.
And after all that work, it's so frustrating to have to like stop and wonder like, can I keep doing this? Like, I know I've had that moment. Like that one sucks for sure.
It does.
What is corporate stylist? Like, what do you do as a corporate stylist?
Yes. So I think something that most of us don't realize, but it's so niche, but anytime you're on a website and you're looking at a product, whether it's clothing, home decor, shoes, there's a physical person, a physical studio, when it's not AI, where we're taking that one shoe and we're positioning it right, left. We're showing you all the views, and you do that all day.
Yeah.
So that's called product styling. There's also people doing on model styling. Can you hear my dogs?
little bit, yeah.
Okay. I'll pause and see if they stop.
Seeing if my dog's reacting to it, but he's
I know, I'm
not.
like, I knew this would happen.
Nope, they were good.
So, styling in the corporate world is very unglamorous. You clock in 9 to 5 and then you leave, and it's great and stable. But I think I realized in that moment that the corporate lifestyle was not for me. And that's, and then you have a toxic boss or a toxic coworker. And it was during COVID. And so some people during COVID found out they were queer. I already knew that. I found out I was chronically ill. So that was that was my my moment.
Honestly, I've heard so many stories of like discoveries of all of the variations. Like, it turns out if we're all just like left alone with ourselves for too long, we're gonna figure out so many things. I learned so many things about my neurodivergence
Yeah.
during that time, and like especially because it was a time where everybody started talking about it. And like, so I was like, wait a minute, I see some connections here. Yeah, no, I've heard so many stories of people realizing, especially like job wise too, like what they're doing, like as soon as they stop doing it, they realize that like that was like such a pressure off of their bodies and their minds.
Yeah, I
And then,
think
yeah.
I totally agree. I think the pandemic, especially lockdown, showed us how unsustainably things were going, and how it all felt almost like, obviously, it's a very devastating time, but how much of a relief there was of being able to be introspective, and how we're not often allowed that for more than a few days at a time.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Who knew we all needed a pandemic to feel better?
Or worse, a lot of us felt worse during that time too. But we came out of it.
There was ups and downs for
There
sure,
were
but
lots
like
of ups and
I
downs.
think that I mean all the devastating loss aside, obviously, because you cannot
Obviously.
quantify that,
Yeah.
obviously. We learned so much during that time,
Mhm.
mostly how unprepared we were. But like we learned so much about ourselves, we learned so much about society, about the different ways that we like could function, and like especially for people who were disabled, and like
Yeah.
being able to like get all of these new accommodations put in place, which then they just promptly tried to take away. But it can never just work out, right? So post corporate world and post figuring out your health is not as great as you wanted it to be, where'd you go?
Yes. So after I kind of took a break from the corporate world, I haven't gone back really. Um, I went to, how it goes. You go to like 7 different doctors to finally get your diagnosis. Then you go,
Yeah.
great, I know what's wrong with me. Now, not wrong with you, but what you're dealing with. And you go, how do I fix this? And they go, well, it's going to take time. So then it takes even more years and more patience. So honestly, I think without that time in my life to be introspective, to look within, and to think about what am I really being called to do in this world with my life, um, I don't think I'd be where I am today. So I'm really grateful, even though that was the hardest time in my life thus far. It was very fruitful in what I've gained. So I spent a lot of time healing myself. I was in a place where I could live at home and just focus on my health and getting better, and figuring out what my body needed. So I ended up getting diagnosed with an autoimmune called Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which results in a lot of fatigue and hormonal imbalances, and it was really tough. It's way more common than we all know, as with most disabilities and chronic illnesses. So I was able to finally figure out what it was, and it was really validating in a way, right? When you get like a diagnosis, you're like, that's what's that's what's been my barrier. You're like, it wasn't just me not trying hard enough. So as difficult as it was, I was able to figure out what I needed in this life to be successful. And that ended up being freelancing. My body doesn't like us, listening to someone else's schedule. I need my own schedule. I need flexibility. And after a couple years of healing, I was reached out to someone from my college fashion portfolio, and they said, hey, can you style a photo shoot campaign for us? Like, here's our budget and here's how many days we'll need you. And I was like, literally just, it was everything I needed. It was the moment that I needed to keep going in my life and realize I can make my dreams come true. I just have to make it work for me. So it was truly life changing getting that one email. I mean, I was like, I'm going to get better. I'm going to do everything I need to take care of my body so I can do this. And it was everything unfolded from there.
Oh, that's so lovely. So have you kind of built your own business around it now? You're doing the freelancing thing?
Yes.
Freelancing is not easy for most. What's it like in the stylist world?
It's definitely complicated. It takes a long time. A lot of people, especially in styling, especially if you're like, a female entrepreneur, a lot of people want to ask you to work for free or very, very low rates. So it's difficult navigating that. But now I've learned to just say no to those things or to ask to send them my rate and say, the worst they can say is no. So there's definitely a barrier when it comes to price and getting what you deserve. But I've been able to navigate that a lot better now that I've learned. Probably 4 years into freelancing, 3 or 4 years, learned a lot. Thank you. And it's so cool at the end of the day going, I built this business for me and it's
That
mine.
is so cool.
And you get to rule it how you want. Why would I
Yeah.
ever go back to a corporate office? I don't know.
Yeah, no. There's so many things about freelancing now that there's just like, how could I ever? How could I ever just like go back to working under somebody's schedule and at their like, and like just the idea of working and time for money is like, just, it doesn't work for me. Like having to just be in a place for an amount of time to earn said money, can't do it. I need to
Totally
like be
agreed.
productive and feel like I'm actually doing something, and like that's the thing I love about freelance is like everything is productive and like you're always doing something. Um Marketing your business. I
Mhm.
think that's the thing that like most people are struggling with recently. How do you go about marketing your business?
That is a great question. I mean, it's such a hot topic now because social
Yeah,
media
right.
plays such a huge role. And it's like, we want to be on social media, but we don't want to be like, creating content because it's so much work. Totally understand that. When it comes to me and my profession, I'm like, I tell everyone, I have like a little group of people I mentor who are breaking into the industry. And I'm like, you need to have a website. You need to be searchable, you need to be Googleable because those people who have a budget and are looking to pay you, they're searching you up on Google. And Instagram is amazing, but I tend to get a lot of opportunities for collaboration work, which is fine. You can take that every once in a while, but when you want to make a living, you need to be online. And so, website is huge for me. But being visible and kind of almost selling yourself, because I represent my business, you represent yours. Like being the person people want to hire, I think is really important. It's hard to hide these days when you run your own business. It really
I
is.
know, I mean, like, I would love to have some kind of like faceless account, but what am I selling? Like,
Yes,
I'm
it
selling
doesn't always work
myself and
that
my
way.
knowledge. I mean, I guess I could
Yeah.
post a lot of words, but it's just not what's attracting people these days. So
No, we want to connect to authenticity, and I think that totally makes sense.
I have been cutting back on my socials lately. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
mostly focused on threads, which I think is where you found me.
Yes, we did. I love threads.
Everybody finds me on threads now because I can just like brain dump there and just like say a bunch of things with zero kind of planning. And that is my kind of like marketing. I love that. Do you Instagram?
I do a lot of Instagram. I kind of treat my Instagram more as a portfolio and also as kind of my own version of a networking site. So if I see someone whose work I love, I'll just pop in and say, "Hey, I love your work." You never know if in 3 months they need a stylist and they hit you up. So I'm playing
Yeah.
the long game with Instagram. Threads, again, it's a beautiful
Good.
brain dump. And
Yeah.
I do a lot on TikTok too, honestly. I've
Yeah.
been reached out to people. So TikTok is where I get to be chaotic and crazy.
I haven't found TikTok to be great for like my style of business yet, but
Totally.
I haven't put a ton of effort into that one either.
It's
I've
definitely a
been,
place, sorry, where you need to have like a lot of sense of humor and be very authentic.
yeah.
And kind
Yeah,
of
I do
unhinged.
like it for the fact that it's like it's so much more real and like
Yeah,
when I feel like
very.
I'm making something there, like it can just be silly and whatever.
Agree.
Whereas like on Instagram it feels like it needs to be very polished.
Totally.
And
Which we don't always
that's
want to
not
do. It's exhausting to be
that's not
polished.
and I
Yeah,
just like I'm getting kind of over short form video. I
yeah,
just feel like
I
it's
feel
so
you.
mind numbing. It's you're
Yeah,
not getting much from it. I can see that there's definitely like a lot of spaces that it is very beneficial, but like I just don't think it should be forced on everyone the way it is these days.
I
And
totally
I hope
agree.
to like
And it's exhausting sometimes to consume that content. And you're
I
like,
hope
wait,
to see
this
like and I hope
isn't
to
making
see
me
it
feel better.
change. I want to see content slow down a little bit.
Yeah. Let's get back on
And I
YouTube, you guys.
yeah, I love YouTube. I love my
Me
YouTube
too.
channel and having like that grow. And that's where I've got my podcast mostly right now. And this episode's going to be coming out in the new year. And hopefully, maybe by then, I will have figured out how to put it on Spotify and the other things. But
I
to
love
be
it.
honest, again, I'm just keeping it small and cozy, and it's kind of just working right now. So
I love it.
I
YouTube's a
like that.
cozy place. You can spend a minute
Yeah.
there. It's cute.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, I'm pretty over the short form videos and stuff, so
I feel you there. Yeah.
what can you do? Um, what kind of adaptations have you made and accommodations have you made for yourself running your business?
Yes, that is a great question because although I do work for myself, like I do have clients that I show up
Mm,
for. They might say, "Hey, we're doing a 12-hour shoot day," and the alarms in my brain go off, and I go, "I can't do it." But I go, "You can. You've done it before." So there's a lot of self-talk, honestly, on my end.
yeah.
And what's great about my industry is there's always a lunch break. There's always catered lunch, and they ask for your dietary restrictions. It's very lovely.
Nice.
And so let's say I do have an in-person gig like that leading up to that. I make sure I plan my week around it. I'm not going to go to a concert that week. I'm not going to, go out at night. So I definitely, get my rest in, treat my body well, do what I need to do, take my meds, do all those things. And then when I get to that day, I know that at any time I'm an adult and I'm allowed to take a break. And that's something where you mentioned in the corporate world that really just sunk to me is you really feel like you're trading over your bodily autonomy. And like
Yeah.
you cannot purchase my bodily autonomy at any
Oh,
price. So
yes.
even when I'm on set for someone else, I know that I can walk away and take a phone call.
Yeah.
I know that I can sit down. I know that I can go in my car and take a nap after. Like, there are so many accommodations we don't even realize we can make for ourselves. And not everyone has a privilege to do so. I do recognize that. It's
Yeah.
easier um, depending on different social standings, but it is something we're all allowed. And so when I go about those days, I know that I need to, just eat a lot of food and be prepared, have my snacks on me, stay hydrated. And it's really calming my nervous system down and saying, Courtney, you can do this. You've done it before. Your body's got you. And tomorrow, you do not have to do anything. And that's what really keeps me going is like
Yeah.
a no bones day after as a little treat.
I do the same thing. Like, I don't have to do anything tomorrow. I can do this today. I don't have to do anything tomorrow. I can do
Exactly.
this today.
It's like you
Like,
could see the light at the end of the
yeah,
tunnel.
exactly. And that self-talk is so important. And like, and the putting your health first.
Yes.
That is a huge part of everything that I teach. Like anything that I teach, I'm always saying, okay, first we're going to consider our health. We're going to
Yes.
see where we're at. We're going to take some time to check in with ourselves. And like at any given point, if you cannot, you cannot. And that's so important to like, and so empowering for people to realize. And like, it's crazy how many of us don't feel that way. Like we don't feel like we have the right to say no and to take that time for ourselves. And yeah, that's I mean it's heartbreaking when I see that, but to see it changing and it is changing. I'm seeing more people who are like you and I who are taking those points and like putting those things first. Love it.
Yeah. it's a total cultural shift from, my time is my time. And you can get me, but you can only get so much of me. You can't have all of me. And it's like, why isn't that the standard? So
Yeah,
sad. It
I'm
is.
so strict with my boundaries. Like, if I don't want to answer an email, I'm not answering an email. Like, it's
Yeah,
probably
why
not that
force it?
important.
Yeah.
Like, unless I scheduled an appointment and like it is that important right now. Like,
Yeah, then you're like, oh, I did this to
yeah.
myself. I got it. I got it.
Oh my
Locked
gosh,
up.
the amount of times I have to like realize I did this to myself.
Have you seen those memes? And it's like being a freelancer. Yay. Then you book a client and you're like, oh no, I
That's
have to work.
exactly it. And I was actually talking to, we did like a little body doubling thing in the group yesterday, and I was talking to the one person we had there, and I was saying that I was doing all these updates on my website, and I had to go through each blog post to update a thing. And I was like, it's my own fault though. Like I can't blame anyone else. I decided to change a thing. And because I decided to change a thing, I had to go through and change all the things. And I'm still working on it.
So true.
Um, it was a decision that had to be made in the end. But
Yes. And then you look forward to when it's done. But,
yeah,
being a freelancer, there's like a never ending list of
it's never
tasks.
ending. That to-do
Yeah.
list never ends. And like honestly, when it starts to look a little empty, I start feeling like I'm forgetting something. And I
Hmm.
have to start looking for the things to add into that to-do list because I'm like, no, I run a business. There's no way this list
Right.
is supposed to be
Yeah.
empty.
You kind of always have to nurture it. It's kind of a crazy
Yeah.
situation, but yeah.
And since I started this like whole community of everything, it has been nonstop and I love every minute of it. It's so fantastic.
I love that for you. That's
I'm
amazing.
meeting so many amazing people and like our community is creative. Like, I mean, put a bunch of neurodivergent people together.
Yeah.
At any point, you're going to get so much creativity. But I find that, like, people who are also chronically ill, like, so ambitious. So ambitious.
Isn't that the
And,
craziest
like,
part? We're
yeah,
doing it
like the
despite it
people
all.
who have no right to be, and just like, they're just so ambitious. They want to do all the things, and they find ways to do it. And it's so amazing, and I love it. And that's my favorite part of sharing all of these stories is we get to tell each other how we've done these things. Um,
Just made me so emotional, actually. That's beautiful.
we totally are okay with crying. Okay, around here,
Crying
we're
on
good
the
with
pod. I
emojis.
love.
On that point, what would you recommend for other people if they're looking to do something similar? Like if they're looking to take on a creative freelance position, either being a fashion stylist or in another form.
Totally. And I was telling someone this earlier, and it's so cheesy, but you do have to do like what you feel inside is your calling and your dream. And if you don't know what that is, like introspection and time alone is really, really helpful if you can manage that. Journaling, meditating, whatever you do to get grounded, go in nature, because that is what will get you out of bed in the morning when you don't want to get out of bed, is your dream. And whatever excited you as a little kid or, as a teenager, it's so worth pursuing that kind of inner child. I think being an entrepreneur is really inner child healing because you're pursuing what you want with like no bounds, no rules, no ceiling, no one telling you no. It's completely up to you. And when you offer something creative, a lot of people think you won't make money off of that. Why don't you just get a real job? Or do you have a plan B? And it's like, there's no plan B. This is the only path forward. And I have to trust that me and the universe and whoever's my own community is going to support me through it. So it takes a huge leap of faith and it takes being a lot of delusional. And it also takes trusting yourself, your body, and your mind can take you there because you were meant to do it. So I would just say, just do what you're meant to do and trust that you'll figure it out.
That balance of like delusional and realism, like you have to be realistic about your body and what you need and what you can and can't do. But at the same time, you have to be a little bit delusional to follow those dreams. And I think like you can just go to a job that you don't love, but you cannot build a business that you don't love. Like you
Totally
can't build
agreed.
that something for yourself. You can't be an entrepreneur if it's not something you're really into. And like I love the content marketing side of things and the strategy side of things. I have so much fun building strategies for people, but like I'm finding my biggest connection to it is not really the like work itself, but the community. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
I bet like in your space, like do you find that as well? Like how's the community in like the fashion stylist world? Are they good? Like, I mean, I know, like, I feel like there's some opinions, like some assumptions that I could make
Totally.
about a bunch of like fashion stylists, like a based on
Yes.
television kind of assumption. But how is it?
I think the assumptions that you have and the stereotypes are probably totally true. However, it's there's a lot of sectors of the styling industry. Like me going to style a commercial campaign, why would there be drama? There's no reason. We're all working a 10-hour day, and that's the great part. Everyone's working a 10-hour day. They know it's going to suck, and you stick together. So when I'm around other creatives who are in it and they're getting their check, there's no issue. But when you get to the celebrity sort of things and the Hollywood of it all, it can get catty and there can be ego. And it's like at the end of the day, like we're all humans. We're all doing what we want to do, and there's no reason for that. So, great question. There is no community of fashion stylists. So, I took it upon myself this year to start one, and it's called the Stylist Support Group. And I started it on Instagram. Anyone's allowed to join, as long as you just send me an email or a DM. And because I wanted to create a space where emerging stylists can ask questions. You can ask questions about your rate, about hours, about how to get clients, how to market yourself, because there is no school for us. There's no standard, there's no textbook,
So important.
and there's a lot of gatekeeping, to be honest. And I think that keeps really talented people out of this industry, whether
Yeah.
they're chronically ill, neurodivergent, person of color, a person who's struggling financially. I don't want to keep those people out of this industry so that I can succeed. Like, we're all equal and we're all here to
Yeah.
do a job. So why not uplift people up in the meantime?
Yeah, I feel like we have like the same our same values. We built our communities on the same
Yeah,
things. Like that was
I love
exactly
it.
what I wanted. I just like I spent so much time learning how to do this for myself, and I just didn't want to see other people struggle in the same way. Like
Totally
I
agree.
hit so many barriers, so many people were gatekeeping. There's so many like especially like the cost of everything. Like it's very important to me that I'm
Yes.
keeping my like community space free. I make my money in other ways, but like my
Mhm.
community space, I need it to be a space that's like accessible for as many
Yeah.
people as possible. Yeah, it was just because community is so important because you need to have those people to connect to. And like what you were saying about like the prices and stuff and like being able to talk about those things. That's so huge because those are the things that have always been gate kept. And I feel like most of us, like as neurodivergent and chronically ill people, we're definitely most likely to be taken advantage of in a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
those areas.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say we're more likely to be totally transparent about it as well.
I mean, like, yeah, and we're
Yeah.
going to be like, and like, that's going to be like, we're going to be transparent about it, but other people just like, I don't think that's like, it's not the neurotypical way. Like, it
Sure.
was definitely neurotypicals that started the whole we don't talk about money situation,
Yeah, because like, what's the big
right?
deal? It's
Yeah. I've never met a neurodivergent person who like understands the reason behind that because we're like, can I info dump on you? And then you info
yeah.
dump on me?
You're like,
And
here's what
like,
I'm charging. Does that sound
let's
right?
yeah, let's tell each other like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like so I definitely feel like that was a neurotypical gatekeeping situation because we're
What
gonna talk.
narrative are we creating here? Like, honestly, someone knows what you're getting paid. Like, I don't know. I think it's
I
so
always thought
strange.
that was such a weird one and like how much do you spend on things as well? Like
Mm.
I'm
Hmm.
so happy to tell you how much like I spent on my house or whatever, like big purchase, because then you can compare to see if you're making the same, you know, is it the
Right.
same? Is it different? Am I getting screwed over? Did you get screwed over? Like You
Yeah.
know, that's how we learn these things, and that's how we stop the systems from keeping us down.
Totally agreed. Without that transparent and like authentic conversation, there are people who are getting taken advantage of. Like you said it perfectly. And why would we want that? I don't want that.
It's that.
The man
You're
wants
the
that.
man.
Yeah.
Take down the man.
Take down the man. Always, always.
Ask, where does fashion stylist fall on pay scale? Like, do you make decent money at fashion stylist?
Let
At
me tell
fashion
you,
styling? There we
it is
go.
yes, all the same thing. It is all over the place.
Yeah, I bet.
There it's one of those jobs where like you'll get offered $20 an hour and $1,000 a day in the same week. So I
But yeah,
can't give
that's
you
crazy.
any one number. And a lot of times in your first few years, you're working for free because no one wants to pay you.
Yeah.
So
So when
it's a
you're
little
talking to
crazy.
other stylists and you're trying to and you're talking to them about like taking payment and stuff, is it kind of just more of a judge how the job's going to be for you? And because if you're going to be doing a ton of work and getting paid low, you kind of just get to judge whether you want to do that or not, hey?
I agree. I think in my industry, we do charge something like a day rate, so a package price for the whole day. But we do a lot of behind the scenes work as fashion stylists. We're shopping, we're doing administrative work, emailing, creating spreadsheets, creating presentations, looking at decks. There's so much that goes into it when you don't see me, when the client doesn't see me, and so you do have to charge for that work, even if it's so hard to be like, I'm working, I promise. That's time they need to pay you for. If you're dedicating a 40-hour week to a project and they just want to pay you for the 8-hour day they see you, that's not fair. And so it is kind of a tricky line of like, okay, I charge for like a prep day, I charge for the days I'm on set, and I charge for, my returns day because that's not work I'm going to do out of the goodness of my heart. That's just, it's for a company, it's for a client. You do have to charge for your time. And it can be really tricky to work up the confidence to ask for that.
Yeah, no, and that's something that I hear from a lot of other neurodivergent freelancers. Like, how do you sound like you're very confident in being able to face that. Like, how did you get to the point where you sound like you got that
That's
down?
so funny.
How did you get to the point where you were
Thank
able to
you.
be like, nope, this is my rate and not feel like you were possibly being hunted for your life?
Well, what's so funny is that I actually got a diagnosis with OCD last year. So sometimes I do feel like I'm being hunted for my life if I say the wrong thing. So, um, ultimately it comes down to I know I need to charge for, X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to come up with the perfect number in my brain. And if it's not, they're going to never work with me again. They're going to, laugh in my face. They're going to think I'm evil. And I have to take all those thoughts and go, thank you. And I put them to the side and I go, I listened to someone, I think it was your podcast actually, with your guest, and she said, what are you comfortable charging where you wouldn't feel resentful? And that really stuck with me. And I actually used that the other day. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your wealth of
She was in the
information.
first season of my podcast, one of my
Yeah,
very early ones. She does money mindset. And yeah, the money mindset, and she does it specifically for creative people
I
because,
loved it.
yeah, it is such a difficult thing for so many of us to, and because I mean, I hate charging the money, when I know somebody's struggling with it, and I want to be empathetic, but also I'm like, also, this is my time, and I have to you know and I'm getting better at it for sure, but it's definitely still one of those things where I'm like, okay, are they about to kill me or am I about to tell them my prices? I'm actually
It's all conflated. And
body, we're
yes,
just doing business here, this is
we
just
are.
business.
And I think there's totally room for sliding scale. There's room for free resources and opportunities. Like you are being accessible. So when people do want to, hire you for your services, it's okay to tell them what your services cost. But it does feel like the end of the world a little bit.
I know there's a big debate out there right now, I don't know if it's as much in your industry, about posting prices online. I'm sure
I
that
have
yours
not
is
heard about
so
that.
so different and stuff
It's
like that, but
so
a lot of
secretive.
people, 'cause, Yeah, and I hate that when people are like so secretive of their prices.
Mhm.
And like I understand like if there is a sliding scale or, but like right starting at or, just give it like a something, a range. Like
Mhm.
I hate going to like look for somebody's services and try to figure out like can I work with this person? Because ultimately, as much as I think that they might help me, it is going to come down to money.
It does.
That is
That is
going to be the
so
thing.
interesting. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a thing as much in like being transparent about your prices on your website and stuff in your industry because you
It's
probably have so many
yes.
different types of
Yeah, it's
yeah.
tricky. It's definitely like at the end of the day, like I have a mentor who told me like have just an hourly rate that you used for everything. And that has to be a price you're comfortable with, obviously. And so sometimes that changes, and sometimes if there's a better budget, you can charge more because they have a budget for that and they're expecting a higher degree of work. So I know what my base rate is that I will work for, that I will show up for, do my 2 hour drive and come to you for. And I just multiply that like by the amount of hours I expect the project to take. And there's a lot of, do they want a fitting? Do they, how far am I driving? There's a lot of moving parts. So um, when I work with personal clients too, I do customize packages and I say, is this valuable to you? Is there anything we can switch out to make it more valuable to you? So I try to be really customizable and friendly to work with and understanding. But at the end of the day, I can't show up for $20 an hour. I just can't.
No, for sure. And it sounds like you're keeping a lot of things together in all of that. Like, what are your favorite tools to use as a neurodivergent person trying to keep all of these lists together?
I think I need more. I literally use the Notes app on my phone. I use my Reminders app, and then I'm a huge fan of Google Sheets. I have a Google Sheet for everything. Your business deductions, your tax information. It's all there and it's all in here.
Yeah. I
Maybe I
built
could need some
myself,
systems.
and it is in my shop. I built myself a master spreadsheet because I
Oh,
love Google Sheets too. I
I
don't know
love
why.
Google
It's so
Sheets.
simple and it's so easy to make it look perfect and keep it all together.
Yeah.
Um, and so I have my business toolkit and I use that constantly. Like that has all of
I
my
love
everything in it and it works so fantastically.
I think I need to do that.
I need to have that one place. Check it out. It's in my shop.
I
I'll put
definitely
all the links
will.
below. um, yeah, finding that like right tool, and like I'd like to ask everyone because everyone finds something different that works really well for them, and I like to find like you know. But for whatever reason, even though like all of these other like Notion, Airtable, all of these other things have been created and they sound fantastic,
Mhm.
I keep going back to Google Sheets too. Like,
And
I
you
can't
just
get into
can't
any of
beat
them.
free 99. Like I know we just talked about rate, but like,
Right?
we have business expenses too. I would love to
Yeah.
minimize my subscriptions
Yeah.
and it's free.
I keep yeah, I currently pay for Riverside to be able to do my podcasts. That's definitely one of my most expensive of my softwares right now, but I didn't want to give up doing this and I hate them for it, but damn, did they make it so easy? It connects so well. The editor
It
works really
does.
well. I'm not trying to pitch them or anything.
But we're open Riverside.
but frick, they did it so well that like I'm
They
like
did.
fine. I'm in Canada, which means like they charge something like $31, but I'm paying like 40 something dollars. So
That's cruel.
give us Canadian prices, please. We need
Always
it.
I just remember being a kid and like looking at the back of a book and it's like USD price and then Canada. I'm like, why are they paying? And of course it's like currency exchange, but I'm like, Canada's paying you guys are paying a prime.
Yeah, we're not happy about it, especially when it comes to books. Trust me, ask any Canadian reader how
Wow.
they feel about seeing what Americans pay for their books.
That is crazy to me. Who decided that?
I don't know.
The
I
man.
think it was for sure a man. The man.
It was the man.
The man trying to keep us down. It was definitely a man, though. Same person who decided to put stickers on books and then
Mm.
also make those printed stickers on the books.
We don't like that. I'm a huge reader. I'm a huge reader.
Reading. Yes. That was going to be my next question. Like all of the work stuff aside,
Yeah.
because as fun as it is and everything, it's not everything. What do you do when you're not working?
Uh, when I'm not working, I'm trying not to inflate my screen time to more than 7 hours a day. I try to pick up a physical book, as I like have a really tough time going to sleep at night. I always have my whole life. So picking up a physical book is really, really helpful. It calms down all the chaos up here, which I think everyone struggles with. Maybe it's just us. I don't know. And so I love reading.
Some people have quiet brains, but like,
Could not
how?
be
Why?
me.
Who doesn't?
Could not. That's my
Somebody
normal.
told me once that there are people that don't have a running monologue in their
I've
brain,
heard
and
that.
like that sounds amazing, and also I don't believe it.
It sounds amazing, and also I would not be the same person without without my buddy up here.
Do you personify your disabilities and neurodivergencies as well?
You know what? I don't. But with OCD, I was taught that it's beneficial to personify it because it actually
I've heard
separates
that.
you from the negative thoughts. So it's not like I'm thinking this, the OCD wants me to think. So you kind of villainize, you kind of make it the bad guy.
Heard that about
Right?
OCD. I've heard that about OCD and anxiety, I think. Like
Yeah.
that people say like that really helps to personify it and then like
Yeah.
other
Like
it in a way.
your thoughts are
I've
not your
always done that
feelings.
with my ADHD. I mean, it used to be just like my brain. I was like, why is brain doing this when body wants to do this? What's going on? The me, myself, and I were for real. We're all
Yeah.
having a conversation.
Yeah. We're like this. No.
Yeah.
Yes. So sorry,
No,
back to
we're
hobbies.
all working against each other, and that's the biggest problem.
Yeah. It's like what's the movie, the Pixar one where they're all in the brain?
Yeah,
Inside Out.
yes,
That's real.
absolutely.
It's inside out in here.
Yeah. Except
But oh
mine's
my
not
gosh. Yeah.
emotions. It's like a little ADHD guy and a little autism guy. And then like I think there's a little neurotypical person in there, but she's like really little and
She's
she's not
small.
very strong. And she's just sitting there going, guys, we're supposed to be doing this. And they're like, or have you tried
Or
doing this? And then autism says, but we have to do it exactly like this.
and why are they in there in the first? Because life would have been boring
I
without
would get
them.
lonely without them, but
Exactly. I would be bored. I'd be bored with life would be too easy without a disability. You know what?
I know, I needed to play this whole thing on hard for whatever reason.
I totally feel you there. Yeah.
Okay, so reading. I
Yes, I
love
know. Okay.
reading.
My OCD
Genre
is like, we need to
of
circle
book.
back. Love reading. I love listening to music. I recently like joined a band with my friends, so I've been like teaching myself how to play guitar and I joined singing lessons. Thank you. And obviously I love shopping and I love going thrifting for clothes and I definitely collect way too many clothes.
Oh,
Um,
I want to go thrifting in LA. That sounds
you'd love
so
it.
fun.
You'd
Can
love
I
it.
come visit and go
Come out and
thrifting in LA?
visit,
No, I'm gonna
please.
come visit when you guys get rid of the president you currently have. But
And we hope that's
then
soon. And we hope
we're
that's
working.
really soon.
We're working on it. You can't live that much longer. But when you guys fix that,
Yeah.
I want to come thrifting in LA. Can you take me thrift?
Please, I would love to.
Our thrifting here is just like it's getting really shoddy. Like it's mostly just
Okay.
like Sheen
Sheen.
stuff now and like the
It's
like Temu stuff. Like
happening worldwide. Yeah,
yeah, it's
unfortunately.
so much crap. But like it's not a big enough place to be
Right.
also bringing in some gems every once in a while anymore. Like just
Sure. Yeah,
you find a
totally.
few things, but most of the time, it's so
That sucks.
disappointing. I know, I want to go travel around just to go thrifting.
That's my dream trip, honestly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you and I were going to,
Yes.
where should we go?
I don't know as long as I don't have to drive the whole time because I hate driving.
My husband really loves to drive. We'll make him
Perfect.
drive, and
See?
we
Yeah,
will passenger princess it
I
with
love
like
that.
our blankets and our books and
And my
our
snacks.
yeah, snacks, obviously, so many
Obviously, the
snacks.
snacks. Yeah.
Oh,
That sounds great to me. I'm ready to go when you are.
okay, let's go. We did recently, well, not recently, I guess it was a couple of years ago now. We did go down to Portland, specifically
Really?
to go to like record shops and bookshops.
I've
Have you
actually
ever
heard
been to the
thrifting
giant
is,
bookstore?
I've never been to Portland actually, and I've heard the thrifting there is off the charts.
I think like I would totally go there again.
Awesome. I
Also,
have to
actually,
look
I
at
think I would go there now. Don't they still have a bunch of people running around in like some fun costumes or
inflatable
something?
costumes.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, I love that.
they're having
I
fun
love
there.
people.
Yes, people
Sometimes they're so
shine.
awful,
Yeah.
but like also,
There are lovely people who shine through the dark times, and we have to, and that's our community, you know?
I just assume they're all like they're all one of us. They're all the neurodivergent
Yeah.
little
Oh, for sure.
the neurodivergent little weirdos running around making this world a better, shinier, more colorful
Isn't
place.
that what we're here for? Like at the end of the
That's what I
day,
assume we were made for, right?
like nothing's that serious unless it
I
is.
think currently, like my business directory, the one of the most popular categories is artists. So
Really? That's
yeah,
lovely. I'd
I'm
love to
not
join.
surprised at all because there's so many neurodivergent artists and
Yeah,
chronically ill artists just making amazing things. It's so beautiful.
really beautiful.
I know, I love it. Thank you so much, Courtney, for coming on the podcast. I've had so much fun talking to you. We're gonna make that plan for that trip.
Of course, I'm
Can
ready.
you tell the people where to find you?
Of course. First of all, if you want to check out my portfolio, it's www.courtneydavila.com. I'm also on my links to all my social media are on there at the bottom of the page, so they're kind of all different. But thank you so much, Rainey, for having me. You are a delightful ray of sunshine, and I'm so appreciative that you've started a community for people like us who just need some support, and
That's
that's
so lovely.
beautiful.
It's like it's been my absolute pleasure to have started this community. Like it was something I needed, and turns out we all kind of needed it a little bit, and it's just the most amazing people. I love it so much. So
It's what
great.
keep us
I'm going to
going.
drop all of your links down below so that
Thank you.
everybody can come and find you. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. If you're a person who is chronically ill and neurodivergent and building a business and want to come and share your story, the links for that will be down below as well. I will see you next time with our next guest. And yeah, bye everyone.
Bye. Thank you.